Hey guys, Anthony here. Tonight's video is entitled Lone Wolf Life Expectancy, and it's from the SHTF school. Comes to us from Selco, and if you watch my channel, you'll know that once in a while I will put some of his writings up here and some of his thoughts that I get through his blog page and that I get emailed to me, and you could sign up for them as well. Some of them are very eye-opening and very good for starting a discussion going, or getting people to wake up to maybe a belief they thought, I'm a lone wolf, I could make it on my own in whatever situation comes my way, especially in a long-term SHTF. And only to have somebody like Selco that has been through it and giving his opinion might change your attitude about having the lone wolf life expectancy or the lone wolf survivor mentality. So let's look at it, at what Selco says here, and then we'll put it up there and we'll start our dialogue like we usually do. Over the last couple of years, he says, I get many questions about, I'll make this a little bigger, what to do when SHTF if you're alone, without a network or of people kind of questions. Most of my answers were pretty much grim about perspective of being alone when SHTF. It is not impossible, but it is very, very hard. On our Facebook page, Robert asks specifically, Selco, what is your advice to people who have no family or many friends in their immediate areas if disaster strikes? Bug in where you are safest and meet people, bug out in the wild where supplies are limited, harsh weather, slow decline of sanity. There are people out there without a support network. I look at it this way. If you are alone now with people around you, and when disaster strikes, then bugging in is really the best option. Why? Because you can pull resources together and form a group. Your sanity can be stable. You can learn new skills, have a structure to protect against weather, trade, and can reduce caloric intake. What do you think the options are for the lone man? I think he is going to have to stay put. But that discussion draws other interesting topics, and from the statement that being alone when SHTF, a lot of folks might conclude wrong things or wrong ideas. So again, let's consider a few problems here if you think you are going to be alone when the SHTF happens in an urban area. Okay, and I'm in an urban setting myself, so this is important for me. Being alone when SHTF in an urban setting. I must point out here again and again, difference between romantic view of surviving in the city and the reality first. Every city is a complex mix of services that needs to operate in perfect, more or less harmony in order to let ordinary man live in it. When those services go away, it is not a city anymore, at least as you understand it. It is a big pile of people inside a big pile of non-operating buildings and houses. To make it more simple to understand, when SHTF city becomes too small to support that number of citizens, suddenly you realize that there are way too many people around you, way too little water, power, food, security, medicines, etc. It becomes complex death trap, and it will ask from you to implement your strength, your skills, your view of moral and right and wrong so badly that it is hard to imagine it right now. Of course, people will survive it, nothing new, but sometimes at very high prices. Or to bring it to the examples for a moment. You are alone, and your home is under threat. How long are you going to be able to be on guard, watching for the threat? One night, a day and a night? How long before you're going to see things that are not there, or even worse, not see things that are there? Now add to the problem that you might be forced to be on guard for 48 hours while you're having diarrhea or a fever. Who is going to watch over your place when you're out looking for resources or information, for example? Bugging in is so good and safe inside the city that you can stay put for a couple of days or sleep a whole night without someone on watch sounds great, but it's not so probable. Bugging in or into the wild. Or excuse me, bugging out into the wild. Maybe it is only me, but I see it only a few can go out into the wild and survive for a prolonged period of time. And I agree with Selko on this point. There's not many people that can, and I know there's a lot of shows on TV that show people surviving, 21 days with no clothes on or whatever. Going out and surviving in the wild on your own is going to be a huge milestone for the average person today, especially one living in an urban area. Most of our skills are just not that, and most of our preps are just not that good to do this. Bugging out in the wilderness is not like a camping trip, because a camping trip is just that, a trip. You go out into the wild with resources and you're going to come back into normal life, 5, 10 days or a month, but you are coming back. Surviving in a wilderness for a prolonged period of time is something completely different, because you are going to start a new life in a way. Range of skills, physical and mental strength needed for that is way beyond the skills of an average prepper, and most of the people could not last too long in the wilderness. Most of the folks who bug out into the wilderness without huge prior preparations, including a bug out location or BOL, will end up dead or simply as unsuccessful scavengers and solo raiders. Forming a group. I'm a big advocate of building the network of trusted people, simply because I saw what it means when you have someone that you can really rely on when SHTF. Now, there is a difference between forming the group before SHTF and after SHTF, because for a good group, you need to have enough time to build confidence and all things set up for SHTF. Common sense, because that is that you need to build a group before SHTF, and that takes time. Building a group after SHTF usually means that you form alliances with people that you do not know good enough. That equals fact that you simply never know when they are going to turn against you. Very important there. As an answer to the original question at the beginning of the post, Robert, if you asked me several years ago what to do, I would advise you to bug out into the wilderness and take your chance. But after years of learning about wilderness, there is one possible choice here for you, and that's bugging in. No friends, no network, no family, no bug out location, no absolutely perfect skills and knowledge and perfect mindset for wilderness. You just have to take your chance by bugging in. But consider mentality that you need to be really flexible and ready to be really mobile in the city. Staying bugged in one shelter is quite hard. You need to consider alternative shelters close to your place, secret stashes with preps, food, ammo, etc. People that you will use as help, not a trusted network of people, but kind of associates in order to get what you need to get. Do not expect to find 6 good people on the second day of SHTF. Use people from situation to situation. Do not trust to anyone. My advice here in the short is to bug in, but not type of bugging in that people imagine with tons of everything ready to die for that. You're going to need to be highly mobile with lots of choices prepared where to spend the night. Final note, help me to help you guys. I really enjoy writing these articles, spreading information that helps me prepare. You will see I have added a new feature to the page. Okay, and it talks there. And then there's 28 responses to this. So I'm going to post this link in the description box so you guys can go read the responses too, because some of them are really good. But let me know your thoughts and on lone wolf life expectancy in an SHTF, especially in an urban area. And okay, thanks for joining me, guys. Take care, stay ready. I have another SHTF school review of an article to go over as well. Another one, it's really good. I think I'll probably do it tomorrow or Saturday. But thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Stay ready and keep prepping. Anthony signing off.